We are back. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with the Dwarven Horde TCG. I am Ant, and it's lovely to have you here. Today, we're going to crack open some more precons for Commander. Today, we got the one, the only Fallout Mothman. That's right. Let's go ahead and open this. Let's see what we get. Now, I did open Dog Meat the Loyal last time, and that one was pretty good. So let us see what we get in here this time. Don't mind me, I'm opening it like a savage. That's what you do. But it's okay, as long as we get what we need, right? Alright, everything we got. Let's make sure we pull out the life counter as well as the collector's booster sampler. Right, and then as you see, as always, we have the counters on the side. Great if you guys are running low. I have a bunch of them, but I've been preferring to use the dice. I think the dice are a little easier for me. Just like to double check and make sure that we don't have anything left over. Let's go ahead and crack open this box here. Now I've played the Mothman deck before, many years ago, and I remember it being like a milling deck. Like it makes everybody mill. You give rad counters, things like that. But let us see. This is the, let's go ahead and zoom in. This is the Mothman spin down for the life counter. Very cool. Let's go ahead and crack open the collector booster for now. Although the camera seems to be focusing and unfocusing. Alright, let's see what we get. So, first card. Oh, what's this? We got the Pride Wind Steel Ship. The Pride Wind Steel Flagship. Flying. It's a 6-mana 6/6. Whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white human knight creature token. With this creature gets +2/+2 as long as an artifact enter the battlefield under your control this turn. And then you get oh, look at this. Wind Brisk Heights, Hideaway 4. When that it enters the battlefield tapped, add 1 mana. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if you attack with 3 or more creatures this turn. It's actually pretty good, pretty solid. We're gonna go ahead and sleeve those up. I like to sleeve up the ones that come from the collector boosters. Alright, let's find that tab. Where's that tab? Ah, here it is. Sometimes they like to hide from you. But if you wanna mess up the cards, sometimes it's not difficult to open. Alright, so we're gonna split this up. Okay, so we got the Wise Mothman, which is the commander for the deck. It's a 4-mana 3/3 flying. Whenever it attacks or whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a red counter. Whenever one or more non-land cards are milled, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X is the number of non-land cards milled this way. And we got the Master of Transcendence. It's a 4-mana 2/4. When it enters the battlefield, the target player gets 2 red counters. Put target creature card in a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield under your control. It is a green mutant with base power 3/3. Okay. We got a Vexing Red Gull. It's a bird mutant. Whenever it deals damage to a player, that player gets 2 red counters if they don't have any rank counters. Otherwise, proliferate. Bloatfly Swarm. Is the zoom a little too much? Okay, no, we're good. When it enters the battlefield, put 5/1 counters on it. If damage will be dealt to Bloatfly Swarm while it has 1/1 counters, prevent that damage, remove any number of 1/1 counters, and then give each player a red counter for each 1/1 red counter removed. Infested Radroach. Infested Radroach can't block. Whenever Infested Radroach deals combat damage to a player, they get that many rad counters. When an opponent mills a non-land card, If infesting rad roach is in your graveyard, you may return it to your hand. Cathedral Acolyte. Each creature you control with a counter on it has ward 1. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Pretty cleric. Glowing One, Death Touch. Whenever Glowing One deals combat damage to a player, they get 4 rad counters. Whenever a player mills a non-land card, you gain 1 life. Lumbering Mega Sloth. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each counter among players and permanents trample. Lumbering Mega Sloth enters the battlefield tapped. Contaminant Drink. Draw X cards, then you get X life. Then you get X rad counters rounded up. Nightskin Ambusher. 4 mana, 4/4 with War 2. When it enters the battlefield, target player gets 4 rad counters. Nightkin Ambusher can't be blocked as long as the defending player has a rad counter. I think this is too close. I say that and then I make it closer.
Fox Tonight. Patrick Dempsey stars in his most.
Alright, we're gonna mute that. No commercials. Alright. Royal Troubleshooter. Once during your turn, you may cast a spell from among the cards in your graveyard that were milled this turn. Each player mills a card. Young Deathclaws. Lizard Mutant. Each creature card in your graveyard has Scavenge. The Scavenge cost is equal to its mana cost. Exile a creature card from your graveyard and pay its mana cost. Put a number of 1/1 counters equals to that card's power on target creature. Scavenge only as a sorcery. Strength Bobblehead. Add 1 mana of any color. Put 1/1 counters on target creature where X is the number of bobbleheads you have active. Cultivate. Search your library for 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. Farseek. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, mountain card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Harmonize. Draw 3 cards. Inspiring Call. Draw a card for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Rampant Growth. Search your library for a basic land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. Corpse Jack Menace. If one or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature you control, twice that many 1/1 counters are put on it instead. Petrified. Destroy target artifact or creature. It can't be regenerated. Cool. Winding Constrictor. If one or more counters will be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many plus 1 of each of those kinds of counters would be put on that permanent instead. If you would get 1 or more counters, you get that many counters plus 1 of each counter instead. We got Arcane Signet. Let me fix up the little pile we got going on here. That is making me lose my mind. It's slipping around. I can't have that now. Arcane Signet. We got a Contagion Clasp. When Contagion Clasp enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. A negative 1/1 counter. Soul Ring. Talisman Curiosity. Mana Rock. Talisman Dominance. Mana. Resilience. Then we got an Ash Baron. This is land. Land. Okay, we're back with more creatures. No, we just pulled this in the collector sample pack in the last one. Alright. Mirelurk Queen. It's a 5 mana 4/4 with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 red counters. Whenever 1 or more land cards are milled, draw a card, then put a 1/1 counter on Mirelurk Queen. This ability triggers once each turn. Piper Wright, the Public Reporter. It's a 2 mana 1/2. Whenever there's combat combat damage to a player, investigate that many times. Whenever you sacrifice a code, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control. Radstorm. You may cast this spell, copy it for each spell that was cast before it this turn. Proliferate. Choose any number of permanents. Pretty big. Struggle for Project Purity. 4 mana 8. Struggle for Project Purity enters the battlefield. Choose Brotherhood or Enclave. Brotherhood. At the beginning of combat, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. You draw a card for each card drawn this way. Enclave. Whenever a player attacks you with 1 or more creature, that player gets twice that many rad counters. Feral Ghoul. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Feral Ghoul. When Feral Ghoul dies, each opponent gets the number of rad counters equal to its power. That's actually pretty cool. Hancock, the Ghoulish Bear. Each other creature you control that's a zombie or mutant gets +X, where X is the number of counters on Hancock Ghoulish Bear. Undying. When this creature dies, if it had no +1 counters, return it to the battlefield with a +1 counter. Nuclear Fallout. Each creature gets twice the minus X until end of turn. Each player gets X red counters. That's actually really good for my Reaper King deck. Screeching Scorch Beast. Flying Menace. Whenever Screeching Scorch Beast attack, each player gains 2 red counters. Whenever one or more non-land cards are milled, you may create that many 2/2 black zombie mutant creature tokens. Do this only once each turn. Vault 12, the Necropolis. Each player gets 3 red counters. Each create an X 2/2 zombie creature mutant tokens, where X is the number of red counters on this player. Put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control that's a zombie mutant. Harold and Bob First Numians. It's a 3/3, 3 mana, vigilance and reach. When it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield as an aura. Forest you control have enchanted forest. Add 3 mana of any one color. You get 2 red counters. It loses all other abilities. Lily Bow and Raging Grandma. She enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of counters on Lily Bowen if its power is 16 or less. Otherwise, remove all but one counter from it, and then you gain 1 life for each 1/1 counter removed this way. Power Fist. Equipped creature has trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Rampaging Yaogui. Vigilance and trample. It is a 3 mana X 2/2. It enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. When Rampaging Yao enters the battlefield, destroy any number of target artifacts or enchantments with total mana value X or less. Really good. We got Strong, the Brutish Thespian. It's a 6 mana 7/7 with Ward 2 and Rage. Whenever Strong is dealt damage, you get 3 red counters and put 3 1/1 counters on it. You gain life rather than lose life from radiation. Potato Farmer, 3 mana, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield in your control, you may get 2 red counters. Put target land card in a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield tapped under your control. Watchful Red Stag. It's a 3 mana 2/2 evolve. So whenever a creature comes in with either power or toughness higher, it gets +1/+1. When it evolves, create a token that's a copy of it. Oh, Agent Frank Oregon. It's a 7 mana 8/6. When it enters, it has trample. And it has indestructible as long as it attacked this turn. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, proliferate twice. Alpha Deathclaw. Menace and trample. Whenever it enters the battlefield or becomes monstrous, destroy target permanent. That's really good. That's for 6 mana 6/6. Monstrous. Pay 7 mana monstrous 4. You will put 4. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you put 4 1/1 counters on it. Atomize. 4 mana, destroy target non-land permanent. Proliferate. Marcus, the Mutant Mare. Vigilance and trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card if that creature has a 1/1 counter on it. If it doesn't, put a 1/1 counter on it. Mutational Advantage. Permanents you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible to end of turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to those permanents this turn, and then proliferate. Forced Evolution from Vault 88. Gain control of target non-mutant creature for as long as you have Vault 87. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It becomes a mutant in addition to its other type. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among mutants you control. Then we got the Nuka-Cola launcher. It's a 3/0 intimidate. Whenever a creature attacks, at the end, defending player's next turn, that player gets 2 red counters whenever they cast a spell. Recon Craft Theta. It's a 4 mana 4/4 flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 blue alien creature token, put a 1/1 counter on it. When Recon Crafts Theta attacks, whenever Recon Craft Theta attacks, proliferate. Route 2. Then we have the Meta Repose and Military Base. It enters tapped. If you may have enter tapped. If you do, you get 2 red counters. Draw a card. This ability costs 1 less for each red counter. Overflowing Basin. Viridescent Bog. Fraying Sanity. Enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchant player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards put into their graveyard from anywhere this turn. Inexorable Tide of 5-mana. Whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. Branching Evolution. If one or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature you control, twice that many 1/1 counters are put on that creature instead. Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield in your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another card you control or a creature card in your graveyard, you draw a card. Let's continue. Alright, we got Hardening Scale. For 1/1 counter where you put on a creature you control, that many plus 1/1 counters are put on it instead. Tireless Tracker. Landfall. Whenever land enters under your control, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter. Biomass Mutation. Creatures you control have base power and toughness of XX. Casualties of War. Choose one or more. So for 6 mana, choose one or more. You can destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, target land, target planeswalker. Pretty good. Alright, Find and Finality. Return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. You may put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control. Then all creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. That's a lot. It's like a board wipe. Right, we got Darkwater Catacombs. Alright, Darkwater Catacombs, Drowned Catacombs, Exotic Orchard, Faded Pools, Hinterland Harbor, Nesting Ground, Sunken Hollow, Temple of Deceit, Temple of Malady, Temple of Mystery, Woodland Cemetery, Mortuary Mire. Enters the battlefield, you may put target creature card from your graveyard to your library. Opulent Palace, Path of Ancestry, Tainted Isle, Tainted Wood, Temple of the False God, Terramorphic Expanse, Swamp. Very good looking art though. Very good looking. Forest. Okay, so I think we're just going into the lands now. So let's go ahead and take a look at these lands. Alright, we got islands. That's pretty cool. I like the islands. We did see the forests in the Dogmeat Precon. This is the cardboard copy of the Commander, the hard cardboard, and that is all. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. If you like this kind of content, you give a thumbs up, like the video, drop a subscribe if you want to see more. As always, give your loved ones a hug, stay golden, stay safe. Until next time, peace.